Hey there, my incredible angling friends, and welcome back to the channel. Your favorite fishing expert is here, brimming with excitement to give you the lowdown on what promises to be an extraordinary day out on the water. We're talking about Saturday, November 9th, 2025, here in beautiful New Zealand. And let me tell you, this isn't just any Saturday. This is a day that's shaping up to be an absolute cracker for hooking into some seriously great fish. Stick with me because I've got all the juicy details to ensure you're not just hoping for a bite, but actively reeling them in. First up, let's talk about our beloved snapper. Friends, November is truly prime time for these magnificent fighters. With our coastal waters steadily warming up, those big, beautiful mooches are pushing into the shallows, actively feeding to build condition before their spawning season. Where to look for them? Focus your efforts on inshore areas. Think shallow bays, particularly those with good worm beds, like you'd find off the East Coast bays or throughout the Firth of Thames. The Hauraki Gulf will also be absolutely firing. Target depths between 10 and 20 meters, especially around any structure, reefs, or drop-offs where baitfish congregate. My little trick for snapper right now, soft baiting is incredibly effective. Think natural colors like green or brown for your soft plastics, jigging them slowly near the bottom. Alternatively, a good old fresh butterfly jack mackerel or a live bait on a stray line rig will entice those spring monsters. Next, for those who love a real tussle, the powerful Kingfish. These formidable fighters are ramping up their activity and numbers with the warming water, especially in the Hauraki Gulf. They're feeding aggressively in the upper water column. Keep your eyes peeled for those incredible workups, those surface feeding frenzies indicated by diving gannets or splashing dolphins. That's where the kingfish will be in abundance, chasing baitfish with reckless abandon. When you find them, topwater lures like large stick baits or poppers can be exhilarating. If they're a bit deeper, jigging with heavy metal jigs is a surefire way to get their attention. And of course, a live kahawai or yellowtail is often irresistible to a hungry kingfish. They're in big numbers and ready for a strong fight, so gear up accordingly. And for our freshwater enthusiasts, both rainbow and brown trout are becoming increasingly active. November truly marks the beginning of warmer weather and an explosion of insect life, which translates directly into increased feeding activity. You'll find great rises throughout the day, especially on warm evenings, as trout become less wary after winter and are eager to feed. In rivers and streams, look for them in riffle-type water, particularly where insect activity is high, and around structure where food washes down. Dry flies and nymphs in smaller, natural patterns will be your best friends during the day. For lake fishing, jigging is starting to kick in as water temperatures rise. Early mornings are best in around 6 to 9 meters, or 20 to 30 feet of water, using green orbits or woolly buggers. Now, let's break down the conditions for Saturday, the 9th of November 2025, so you understand why the fish will be behaving this way. The weather, for much of New Zealand, especially around Auckland, is looking rather pleasant. We're expecting daytime temperatures to hover around 20 to 22 degrees Celsius, or 68 to 71 degrees Fahrenheit, with nighttime lows of 15 to 17 degrees Celsius, or 59 to 62 degrees Fahrenheit. While there might be a whisper of patchy, very light rain, perhaps just 0.02 of an inch, it's unlikely to significantly impact your day. Atmospheric pressure should remain relatively stable, which, as we all know, fish absolutely love. The wind, for the most part, looks manageable, making for comfortable conditions on the water. Water temperatures across New Zealand are steadily rising, marking the true beginning of our warm weather fishing. Coastal areas around Auckland will average about 17 degrees Celsius or 63 degrees Fahrenheit. This warming trend is crucial, my friends, as it boosts fish metabolism, making them hungrier and more active. For freshwater trout, reaching around 10 degrees Celsius is a known trigger for increased feeding activity. Warmer waters also mean baitfish are moving into shallower inshore areas, and our predatory saltwater species like snapper and kingfish are following right behind them. Every degree counts, and the upward trend is definitely in our favor. And for the second moon phase, on November 9th, 2025, will see a waning gibbous moon with an illumination of about 77 to 85%. This is just a few days after the full moon. Many anglers believe that the increased light from the moon can extend feeding windows, especially around moonrise and moonset, so those evening and early morning bites might be particularly productive. Overall, my friends, November truly sees the real beginning of warm weather and an explosion of insect life, which translates directly into increased feeding activity for freshwater fish. For saltwater species, the warming coastal waters bring in baitfish, creating frenzied workups for predators. This is a transitional period from spring to summer where fish are actively putting on condition. My personal assessment for Saturday, the 9th of November, is an excellent bite. The combination of stable, warming weather, steadily rising water temperatures, and a moon phase driving strong tides, coupled with the peak biological activity of spring fish, makes this a truly prime day to be on the water. Expect active feeders across both freshwater and saltwater, ready to grab your offerings. So there you have it, friends. Get your gear ready because November 9th is calling. I wish you all tight lines and nikwosta ni cheshui. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this forecast helpful, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. And tell me in the comments below, what are your plans for this amazing fishing day? What's your go-to spring lure or bait in New Zealand? Share your insights and let's get a conversation going. Happy fishing, everyone.